What is going on, everybody? Welcome to part 3 of the Netradiant tutorial. In this part we're going to talk about a very important part when making a map, and that's textures. We'll keep it basic as usual because you kind of have to learn yourself a bit how the difficult parts work. You learn it automatically, I promise. I've learned it all on myself. I didn't use any tutorials, so when I can do it, you can do it. Anyway, let's jump right into it. So as you can see, I have 3 different brushes over here, and I have a texture ready. So this is a default texture just for showing purpose only. Anyway, let's select this brush and apply the texture to it. So as you can see, it looks kind of nice, but it doesn't put the texture one time in the actual on every side. So that might sound a bit weird, but let me show you. So to edit the textures, you press S on your keyboard to open the surface inspector. Now for this brush we will be using actual and fit. So let's first press fit. As you can see now, the texture is on every side just once. So when you press actual, it actually puts it back to where we found it on. Anyway, so let's keep it on fit. Right now we want everything just perfect that size. Great. It's that easy? Yes, for those kind of shapes, but it is. Because they line up perfectly, it's all easy. But when you have round texture, obviously it doesn't go nice on the lines, it goes right through them. It's a little bit different. So let's first start with the top and the bottom. Alright, let's apply this texture to it. Holy shit, that's a lot of times this texture. Here I don't even see the texture. So yeah, that needs a lot of editing. The sad part about round texture, you can't really shift the texture around. So I'll show you. As you can see, nothing is moving. I will show a brush later where it does move. Anyway, for this, for round textures, and you want to fit the texture once in it, obviously you'll have to mess around a bit because as you will see, it won't fit nicely. Let me show you. To do this, you will press the cap option. Obviously, actual and fit don't do anything. I'll show you that, as you can see. Now let's press cap. Oh shit, that's worse. Still the same. Well, that's quite nice. So as you can see, it has the same size as the other brush over there. But the sad part is we can't shift it. So that's the down part of this texture. Just don't use this type of texture on round brushes. Now, this thing. Let's edit again many times. You might think, hey, that's the same as the top part. So let's try cap. Nope. Let me. Oh yeah, that looks quite nice, but no, not actually. It doesn't. As you can see, it's stretched completely over here. You might not see it as good, but it's stretched. So how do we fit this? Well, let's try fit. No. Well, it doesn't stretch anymore, but now it stretches here. So natural maybe. That's perfect. As you can see, natural puts it nice, no stretching anywhere. I actually like this kind of texture. Might use it in a future map for a round texture. Obviously not the top, but the side. Okay. All easy, right? We've seen all these buttons. Pretty much for this kind of brush you use these two. For this kind of texture you use this one. And for this one you use fit or natural. Alright. Now I have another square over here. To make it a little bit more difficult, I will turn it. As you can see, those who follow it quick will know how to do this now. Just select your brush and click R or rotate. Now you can rotate the brush completely around. Obviously you can also turn it in the Y direction and the Z direction, but for now we'll just turn it around like this. So like this, for example. When I now apply this texture, it looks kind of like this one at first. So let's press S again and then fit. Yeah, alright, so the sides look quite alright. The top is completely messed up. Let's face it, it doesn't look that good. So let's modify it. I'll also modify the bottom because, as you can see, it's shit too. Now actually we'll talk about these things. Let's first rotate a bit. Now normally you'll know how much degrees you've rotated, but I'm just gonna guess. As you can see, it now rotates the texture around, and you'll kind of have to see until like you feel that one is pretty straight, or I think this is as straight as it'll get. So let's now, we've done rotate, all right? So it's perfectly, you see the lines line up. Let's now get it centered, right? Because we want that effect over here. Now, how do you do that? Just select it again. Those who didn't pay attention in the first part, press Control Shift to select a side, Shift click, Shift left click to select a complete brush. So first of all, it is stretched, this texture. As you can see, horizontal, vertical is different here than over here. So in fact, we'll just copy it and apply it. Control C, Control V, the basic Windows controls. I don't know how it's for Apple or Linux. Just copy it and paste it over here. Oh, my bad. So there you go. Now it's nicely done. And now we have to shift it. So what I like to do is just put these behind the dot to 0. Oh, there we go. And then just shift it around a bit till I feel like it's in the middle, which would be around this, and this one, let me get a better view, would be around this. So as you can see, it now lines up all nicely, just like that. All right, easy enough, right? Yes, it's that easy. So we've now covered everything in the Surface Inspector. Let's now give a little bit of special attention to a certain texture, the sky texture. This is very important that you, when you make an open map, you actually add a sky texture. Now to do this, what I prefer to do is just make a giant brush around your map, because yeah, that's how I roll. Doesn't even have to be centered. Well, normally I do center it nicely and do everything nice. Now it's just showing, right? But it's not hollow, obviously. You didn't make walls, you didn't make anything. It's just a huge brush and these things are in it. Now to make it hollow, you press hollow, obviously, and that's this button over here. Bada bang, bada boom. Now it's hollow. Now I'll select the complete thing again. And now I'm going to apply a sky texture. There are a few basic ones, I believe in this one is one. Yeah, so I'll just apply it, and this will actually cause your map to be able to build. Now if you don't apply a sky to your open map, your Netradiant will say that there's a leak, so it might be important to do that. To make your own sky texture, I won't go into that because it's a very difficult part and it will take way too long. It also isn't basic anymore. To be honest, I never made my own sky. I like the basic ones a lot. If you make a enclosed map, you don't even need it. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for this tutorial. Well, this part of the tutorial. I hope you will learn something, and I hope to be seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.